What's going on, everybody? Living to learn. And once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching my videos. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Donate financially if you'd like to. Actually, I'm going to need to get some new equipment pretty soon. And I think now that I've been doing this more consistently, it probably does make sense to make that investment. So if you want to donate financially, that'd be awesome. If you can't, that's fine. Again, I appreciate the views. I appreciate the sharing. I appreciate the comments. Really just appreciate the support big time. So this won't be a very long video. I'm honestly kind of in a bit of a time crunch schedule wise. It's been really tough recently for me to make the adjustment because, I have to work. I have stuff I got to do. Just like everyone else, right? Responsibilities, things have to be done. I love YouTube, but I'm not monetized yet. And I say yet because I think one day it will be an additional stream of revenue for me. But that's really not the most important thing. The most important thing for me right now is to be consistent. And so I love making these videos. I love this channel. I love what it represents, and I love what it has the capability of doing for others, which is, building them up, helping them see things from a different perspective. And really, that's just kind of the basis of why I started this channel in the first place. Most of you know, if you've watched me before, you know that I am aspiring to be a life coach. That's what I want to do full time. Eventually, I'll get there. But just like anything that's worth building, it takes time. It does take a lot of effort. It does take sacrifice. Building a business, for all you entrepreneurs out there, those of you that have been doing it for a while, I salute you. I commend you because I am learning how difficult it is to go into business for yourself. Definitely not easy, but at the same time, I think it's definitely a worthwhile pursuit. And so I'll continue to move that way. I'll continue to move forward in that fashion. And, I see myself there, right? I see myself at the end of the line. And really, what I want to talk about in this video is what does it mean to make the most of things? Right? Typically, when we say something like, we got to make the most of it, it's because something didn't go according to plan, or something's not going exactly the way we thought it would, right? Welcome to life, right? I mean, it happens to all of us, happens to the best of us. No matter how much we plan, or no matter how much we're sure of certain things, it's, there really are no guarantees. And sometimes things happen, stuff happens, times change, seasons change, schedules change, and next thing you know, you find yourself in a predicament you didn't expect to be in. But really, it's just about how do we make the most of things, right? So the first thing I like to do when it comes to, making an adjustment, right? Pivoting on something that, okay, well, I have to go in a new direction now, right? Again, case in point, my schedule, my situation, having to do things a little bit differently, having to get creative. Those are things that I have control over. So the first thing I want to do is I want to assess what part of this do I actually have some control over? What can I actually do about this, right? Because for some of us, that change when it comes, when life throws us a curveball, as they say, right? And it could be something minor, like this isn't a very big deal. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not trying. I don't want to over dramatize this, right? Like it's not, schedules change, things happen. Okay. It's not like something tragic has occurred. It's not like something life altering has occurred. And so I don't want to play it up like it's on that level, but it is a disruption in my pattern. It is a disruption in my normal schedule and what I'm used to and how I like to go about things. But really, it's like, okay, first thing I got to do, I got to look at, well, what can I control in this situation? Well, I have my equipment's mobile. I can take it with me. I can figure out different times where, it's going to make sense for me to record these videos. Just a number of different things. And so for yourself, when it comes to having to make the most of things, it's very important to assess that. What do I actually have control over here? What can I actually maneuver? What can I actually dictate as far as what can be done? Because there's a lot of things that aren't in our control, right? There's a lot of things that will come up that we have no control over, we have no influence over. And so, making that assessment and really getting down to that, not only does it make practical sense for you, but it also gives us an opportunity to kind of shift our mind, right? we're taking our mind off of the inconvenience that's happening. We're taking our mind off of the schedule interruption that's taking place, and we're applying that to something that's going to be more beneficial, right? Because obviously the opposite of not making the most of things is what? Kind of sitting in this negative mindset, right? Sitting in a space where we're saying like, okay, this is, this sucks. Why don't things work out? Or, why did this have to happen? It could be a number of different things. And that negative energy, what that'll do is that's just going to take from us, right? And we have to do everything we can to not allow that to just take from us. Because if it's just taking, we're not getting anything from it, right? We're not using this opportunity to gain something from this experience. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's inconvenient. But again, if we can at least assess what we can control in the situation, it's going to be helpful. It's going to help us shift our mind a little bit, right? The second thing is I have to look at, okay, well, what is this an opportunity to learn, right? Is this an opportunity for me to learn something, maybe about myself, right? Maybe I get to know a little bit more about how I handle these types of things, these types of situations, right? And again, I can make notes. I can even literally writing things down like, hey, when this happens, this is my typical reaction, right? Or you know what, when this happens, I start to feel a certain way, right? And again, giving yourself something else to do, something else to focus on, rather than just sitting in like this negative space because things aren't going the way we want them to, okay? We're human. It's natural for us to feel a little disappointed when things don't go the way we want it to, okay? So I'm not saying let's beat ourselves up for being human beings, but if we stay in that space, what's the benefit? And that's how we should look at it. Like, what's the benefit here? Like, I still have to maneuver this, right? I can sit here and I can sulk and I can feel sorry for myself and I can be frustrated because, things have changed and I have to change. That's definitely an option. But is that where I want to go? Is that what I want to do with my time? Is that going to help me? Right? Is that gonna help me in my job? Is that gonna help me at home? Is that gonna help me with my family? Carrying around that type of attitude, carrying around that negativity. Yes, I have a right to feel a certain way about it, but which direction am I gonna go? Right? And so I'm here to encourage you to take the direction that's gonna utilize what you're already going through and bring you something like allow you to benefit from it. And I've said this in other videos, I think, before, and it's something that I say often. It's only a waste of time if you allow it to be. And that could be anything, right? It could be in a bad relationship. It could be in a job that didn't work out, right? Or just like, oh, that was I wasted my life with this person, or I wasted so much time over here doing this. And it's like, well, if that's how you choose to look at it, then yeah. But me, I'm looking for a way to, to salvage that time. Like, hey, that wasn't a waste of time, because even though it was a bad situation, or even though it wasn't what I wanted, I learned this, I learned this, I learned this, right? I'm trying to take something, whatever I can from that situation that's going to benefit me, right? And again, like I said, it puts our minds in a different space, so we're not just focusing on everything that's gone wrong. Right. And again, I understand this can be, this varies in difficulty depending on the situation, right? Like no two situations are the same. Right now, I'm talking about a schedule change, an adjustment that I've had to make, revolving around this channel and my attempt to be consistent. But I mean, there's things that are much more serious, and are much more, they're heavier, they're harder to deal with, things that are, tragic situations, things that have, really changed and altered our lives. But I think the elements that I'm talking about are still, it's still pretty much the same. Like, you still have to decide which way you're going to go with it, right? You still have to assess, what can I control here? And then you still have to assess, like, well, what am I, what can I gain from this? And like I said, it's going to be harder in different situations, right? And we're all different. We all have different approaches to that. But making the most of it, what that means, or what that doesn't mean is, we have to fake it, or we have to pretend, something that I say often sometimes I think about like, why do I say it this way is, something happens, I might say like, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to cry about it? Right? So first of all, there's nothing wrong with crying. Crying is a very healthy exercise. Crying is great. It's our way to release, right? Our body gives us that ability. We have an ability to cry for a reason, right? Now, as men, especially Hispanic men, culturally, that's something that's not, typically promoted. So if I'm the first one you've ever heard say as a man that it's okay for you as a man to cry, well, let it be known. But what I'm really saying, I'm not knocking crying or looking at that in a negative light. What I'm really saying is, well, what am I going to do? Am I just going to sit here and let all the negative emotions and all the sadness just, run my day? Is this going to be the theme? Right? Because if it is, how's that going to help me? It's okay for me to feel sad. It's okay for me to feel disappointed. But if I stay there, how is that going to be helpful? How is that useful? Right? How's that productive? How does that benefit me and help me get better as I move forward? And that's really the way we have to look at it. And again, I know this is just kind of a rough, surface level approach to what we're talking about here, but I wanted to put it in a way that hopefully is simple and gives us an opportunity to really think about like, okay, what does this look like in my situation? Because all of us have different situations where we have to make the most of it, right? So wherever that can be applied to you, as it's being applied to me right now in my situation, it's just something to think about. What do I have control over? What can I gain from this, right? What can I use from this that's going to benefit me? Again, sometimes it's harder to find those things, but I feel like if we give our mind another task, we give our mind something else to focus on rather than just staying in that space, not faking it, not denying it, not denying how we feel, but just going in another direction that's going to be more beneficial and helpful for us. So that's my suggestion when it comes to making the most of things. Like I said, I'm going through it right now, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to encourage. That's what my coaching's all about. And please, I put my Instagram handle in the description of every video. Live to Learn Coaching. Do me a favor, send me a message. Follow me. Send me a message on there. If you're interested in possibly hiring me as your coach, let's talk, right? I'll let you know if I think I can help you, okay? Because I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just somebody who has a passion for helping people see things from a different perspective that maybe will allow them to go further than they would have otherwise. Okay, that's just a quick rundown of my intentions. So if you're interested, reach out to me. Live to Learn Coaching. Send me a message. We can set it up. 15-20 minute call. Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you if I think I can help you, and if I can, we'll talk about everything else, scheduling, payment. I'm not trying to get rich. I want to help you. That's first and foremost. There is a value to my gift. There's a value to my abilities. But my main concern is that I'm helping someone get better. So feel free to reach out if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you for watching the videos. Please continue to do so. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And, share these videos, like, comment, suggestions. It's all welcomed. So again, I appreciate everyone who's watching, and I'll talk to you soon.